What's going on, everybody? It's the King Zoro. Welcome to another episode of Becoming a Wrestler right here on YouTube, on the King Zoro YouTube channel. Today, I just want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys about what is the end goal of this wrestling career. Why am I doing this? What's my purpose? You know, in my last video, I talked about how I wanted to eventually own my own wrestling promotion, a wrestling school, or something of the sort, something like that. But hey, there's more to it. There's a lot more to it than that. The purpose of owning my own wrestling school or promotion is a lot deeper than just I love wrestling. The purpose of me wrestling is a lot deeper than just I love wrestling. The purpose is so much bigger. You might be asking, what is that purpose, King Zoro? What are you trying to tell us? Get to the point. Well, I will get to the point right now. Here it is. So the purpose is I deeply care about people. I deeply care about my community. I deeply care about the people that I'm going to impact. So in order to impact them in a way that is suitable for my expectations, I need two things. I need a platform and I need funds. So for one, the platform, I need some way for people to see my face, to hear my words, like similar to this, but I want it on a bigger scale. I really do. I want to reach more people. I want to inspire more people around the world. People who don't even speak my language, I want my words to be translated to them. Basically, my message of minor setbacks for major comebacks. That is the slogan of this channel. I've had a lot of those. Not all self-inflicted, but some have been self-inflicted, but recovering from them now. And this is the time for the major comeback. And I want everybody to really buy into that message. And I got it from the song Dedication by Nipsey Hussle featuring Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick says it in his verse on the song, and I just think it resonated with me so deeply because I've experienced so many minor setbacks that I viewed as major setbacks, but they really weren't, because I came back from them every single time, and I want people to know that they too can do that. So my community, what minor setback do I want them to know that they can come back from? Well, poverty, crime, destruction, drugs, all that stuff. I want them to not see that as a major setback. I want them to see that as a minor setback that can make a major comeback for them. And the difference, the way that they'll see that it's a minor setback as opposed to a major setback is all in the result of the hard work that we put into the community. So for example, now people might see drug addiction as a major setback, and I can definitely understand why they would do that. You know, it tears you apart, it affects your family, your friends, relationships, it affects your work, all that different type of stuff. But it's a minor setback, and I will tell you why. It's a minor setback because the comeback far outweighs the setback. The comeback is that you get yourself back. You know, you inspire others. You prevent others from falling into that same drug addiction. You bring others out of that same drug addiction. So now we're looking at one person, right? Me, for example, one person, I fall into a deep drug addiction, right? Instead of staying in that drug addiction and viewing it as a major setback that I just cannot recover from, I do recover. I go to my rehab. I do whatever drug rehabilitation people who are addicted do. I've never been addicted to drugs, so I don't know. This is just an example that I'm using myself as. I do whatever it is that they do to come back from that, and then boom, I have a story to tell. I have something that I can use to inspire the next person next to me that's addicted. I have proof that there's a way out of that burden. There's a way out of that life. And then that is a major comeback, because instead of one person coming back, that's two people coming back. And then that's three people coming back. And that's four, and that's five, that's six, that's seven, that's eight, that's nine, that's 10. That's a whole community of people who just came back from a drug addiction because they had each other. It's a domino effect, and that's what I want to create in my community. I want people to resonate off the words that I say or the actions that I do, and it just falls like a domino effect. There's nothing that I can do that will not cause a positive effect for the next row of people, and then the next row of people, and the next row of people. That's how this thing works. So I need the platform in order to reach my people. I love my people. And by my people, I mean black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, all those people. Anybody who's struggling to make a dream come true like I am. Anybody who's fighting for their dream to come true like I am. Anybody who's putting in work for their dream to come true like me. people who are in the inner cities, kids who don't think that they're smart enough because their schools aren't funded, because they have old textbooks, because they don't have STEM research programs, because they don't have Project Lead the Way engineering programs, they don't have science and technology programs. I want to change all that. That stops the moment that I make it to my goal, the moment that I have the funds. Number two, to influence change. The funds to influence change in my community. Money makes the world go round, and ain't that the truth, but there's more to it than just that. Because money is simply a piece of paper. What you do with the money, that's the impact. That's why money is so important, because money has the power to dictate futures and to dictate realities. Me, when I get my money, which is coming to me, I'm making the conscious decision that I'm going to take my money and use it to build towards a better future for the people that I care about. Build towards a better future for kids who cannot afford to have those opportunities that other kids have. And that's not fair, because they're not any less smart than those other kids. They just don't have the same opportunities. They're not in the same communities as those other kids are. And that's not a knock on those other kids. I want those kids to go for it too, because a lot of those kids work very hard and they deserve everything that's coming to them. But that does not mean that these inner city kids and these kids in these low income communities, that does not mean that they don't deserve the same thing either. And the reason I'm able to understand this so much is because I had two very hardworking parents. I had my father, Alfonso McCree Sr., and I had my stepmother, Marina McCree. I also have my biological mother, Damani Alexandria, who is very much in my life, but I grew up in the house with my father and my stepmother. And we lived in District Heights, Maryland. 20774 is that zip code, right behind Forestville Mall, right on Pennsylvania Avenue. And we lived on Forest Run Drive. And the neighborhood that we were in was a nice neighborhood. It really was. It was a nice suburban neighborhood. People acted like they had some sense. There wasn't violence in the neighborhood or anything like that. But then I look around the rest of District Heights. I'm like, man, there's people out here that are struggling. And they literally live right around me. I'm surrounded by them. And I can't do anything about it. That hurts as a kid growing up, especially being as giving as a kid as I was. Not to toot my own horn, but that's just the reality of the situation. I was born for this. I was born to give. I was born to help people out. That is my life's goal. And it doesn't hurt that maybe my life's goal can be fulfilled by me doing a job that I love to get the funds that I need to help the community of the people that I love. It all connects. So at the end of the day, the purpose of this wrestling career, the reason that I want to make it so bad, is for two reasons. Once again, I love that number two. Two reasons. Number one, it is my passion. I love professional wrestling. This is all I wanted to do since I was a kid. I told my dad when I was little that I wanted to do it. He said, "You're not wrestling, no." And I'm like, all right. But then as I grew up, I fell right back into it. And I know my dad will support me through it, because he supports everything positive that I do, because he's the best dad in the world, and he just, doesn't want to see his son get hurt, and wrestlers get hurt all the time. Anyway, number two, the community impact. The community impact of me making a lot of money and putting it right back into the community that put so much love into me. I want to do that. That's my goal. That's why I look up to Nipsey Hussle so much. He was born and raised on 60th in Slauson, and he died on 60th in Slauson. And he gave everything to that community. Every bit of his time, his energy, everything, he put it right back into the people who put so much love and energy into him. And he saw the struggles around his community, and he fixed them one by one. And before he even died, he had more plans to fix more stuff. And now people are continuing his work in the community. And the spirit of Nipsey Hussle will never die for that reason, and that's the same thing I want for myself. I want my spirit to never die. When I'm dead and gone, I need people to remember the impact that I made in my community and go do the exact same thing for their communities. Eventually, you inspire so many people that there's so much change around the world, things start to look a little bit better. Things start to feel a little bit better. There's more love in the world. There's less poverty, which leads to less crime, which leads to less drug addictions, which leads to less jail time. All this type of stuff, all leads to love. It's a big connected circle full of energies. And I think it's important that if you feel it's your life mission to help people out, that is what you need to focus your energy on. Now, how you get there, that is your business, that is your choice. If you can fulfill your passion, whether it be music, art, TV, military, disaster relief, working for the government, I don't know, whatever it is that you like to do, be a politician if that's what you want to do, but you need to be making changes, positive changes for all of mankind. But you can only do that if you start in your own community and then expand out. So, I challenge you guys, do something big for the person next to you. Because a lot of you might not be rich right now. Shoot, neither am I, right now. But at the end of the day, I know that in order to start a process, you gotta take a single step. And that single step to me is to help the person right next to me. To help the person who I see right next to me that needs help. You start one person at a time. And then you do 2 people, and 3, and 4, and 100, and 1,000, and 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, million people, millions, billions. Everything you do has an impact on the person next to you. Just remember that. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I'll be uploading every Wednesday and Friday. Love you guys. Peace.